to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing? What really happened in Roswell? And where are Biggie and Tupac? All kidding aside, obviously we all know about your credentials and breadth of experience. For example, no, seriously, just recently in an episode of Celebrity Apprentice at the steakhouse, the men's cooking team did not impress the judges from Omaha Steaks. And there was a lot of blame to go around, but you, Mr. Trump, recognized that the real problem was a lack of leadership. And so ultimately you didn't blame Little John or Meatloaf. You fired Gary Busey. And these are the kind of decisions that would keep me up at night. Well handled, sir. Well handled. Say what you will about Mr. Trump. He certainly would bring some change to the White House. Let's see what we've got up there.
Trump putting in Neil McGill Gorsuch on the 97th day of the year, 4/7, April 7th, as his first Supreme Court justice, and why he's had so many federal judge appointments, being Trump 47, where judges 47, where government's 47, authority, president, White House, Republican, Democrat. Trump's been a Republican and a Democrat in his life. He was a lifelong Democrat until Obama. Obama, who said at the 2011 White House Correspondents' Dinner, Donald Trump would be the next president 45 days before Trump's birthday, who went on to become number 45. And like I explained the night that he did become number 45, I said, okay, these are real biblical riddles, you guys. We got to wake up. Called this out the night that they announced him as the 45th president-elect, November 9th, in the early hours. I said, okay, Donald Trump, the Trump-Pence ticket, number 45, trumpets, the warnings from Revelation, Holy Bible, 45 forwards and backwards, 45, the ninth triangular number, completion 9, a mocking agenda, an orange Oompa Loompa, known as being an asshole celebrity, The Apprentice telling people they're fired. Anyway, just telling stories about the way the world is and what people need to wake up to. Now back to 2020 and the 20th tarot card, the judgment card, and all this stuff happening in the world, and this big ritual with the death of the Jewish Supreme Court justice on the Jewish New Year. On Trump's 97th day of his age, when he put in his first Supreme Court justice, Neil McGill Gorsuch, on the 97th day of the year, April 7th, 4/7. The big number in D.C. Again, everything in D.C. is 47, including Judge Gavel Obey. Same repetitive rituals. And what I forgot to say last night, we were talking about this a lot. I can't believe I forgot to put this in last night, but look at the name Ginsburg. Ginsburg's 97. Perfect name for a Supreme Court justice. Dead on Trump's 97th day of his age. And for all of you who are still torn and you're like, man, like that lady who called in a week ago, she's like, I used to really like Trump, but now I don't know what to think. I think I'm still going to vote for him. And I'm saying, why? You're just validating the lie by participating in these rigged, predetermined systems. And again, you guys, everything about Donald Trump's been this way since 2015. Every news story is perfectly aligned. You know, when they made Kamala Harris the VP nominee on August 11th, the date with 59 numerology, 59 weeks after the first Democratic debate on Trump's 59th day of his age before the 59th U.S. presidential election. You know, just all these things that they do. It just shows that it's such a puppet show. Obama jokes in 2011 at the White House Correspondents' Dinner that Donald Trump will be the next president, 45 days from Trump's birthday. It's not a joke. It's a sick joke. That's why they're laughing in that way that they laugh. Just wait. And that's why, we were up that late that night that he became president-elect. All of my worries confirmed. Exactly what I said in February of 2016, before he was even the Republican nominee. I said Donald Trump will be the next president. He's the order out of chaos candidate. Bad stuff's coming down the pike. He'll be the president this exact time. And in light of RBG, the notorious Ruth Bader Ginsburg, dying on Trump's 97th day of his age, in accordance with Supreme and Ginsburg, again, Notorious is 97, so was Death. Notorious B.I.G., the rapper, died in 97 on March 9th, a date that can be written 9/3 like 93. Ginsburg became a Supreme Court justice in 93 under Clinton, and Bill Clinton was born Bill Blythe, and his mother remarried into the Clinton political dynasty out of New York. And then Bill Clinton's wife becomes a senator in New York. Rituals, puppets, powerful families. Again, Ruth Bader Ginsburg also died 187 days after her birthday. 187. They mentioned in articles that her husband died at 78, Jesuit 78. We talked about that earlier. And they were married for 56 years. Notice Washington, D.C. and Society of Jesus are 56 and 187. And in those same ciphers, so is Paris, France. And the Jesuits were formed in Paris, France. The Jesuits are the Society of Jesus, who've been in D.C. longer than the feds, and who are responsible for this code that's synced up with the calendar that's behind the English language. They got the knowledge at the end of the Crusades. Centuries later, they had a code figured out for a new language for a new world. They operate by it every day. And they do it because they believe this is how God operates. Kabbalistic belief. Again, to Freemasonry, there's the 47th problem of Euclid, which is about how to establish foundation for a structure. Foundation. The word foundation in Gematria equals 47. What's the birthday of this nation? The 4th day of the 7th month. 4-7, the way the majority of the world writes it. When you write it 7-4, like how we write it, Holidays 74, Independence Day 74, Masonic 74, Occult 74, English 74, Gematria 74, but the way the majority of the world writes it, 4-7, Foundation 47. And the 47 degrees on the Masonic compass is attributed to the Scottish Rite out of France. France equals 47. The nation's capital was set up by L'Enfant, the French Freemason. A lot of the founders studied in Paris, France. The Founders Foundation, France equals 47. But again, just in Gematria, all these things equal 47. Government, authority, president, White House, Republican, Democrat. They're all 47. The name Trump's 47. In the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel. The last night, the false quote. And it's false because he hasn't been in office for 47 months. In 47 months, I've done more than you've done in 47 years. And again, Joe Biden, the 47th vice president, he took office with Obama, who took office at age 47. The country Ukraine in Gematria equals 47. Remember what we were saying, a year and a half ago? Why is Donald Trump supposedly trying to dig up dirt on Joe Biden, who's in 20th place out of 20 places in the Democratic process right now? Joe Biden was literally probably in last place the whole time in terms of the way people really thought and felt. He was the laughing stock of every night's debate, incoherent, misspeaking, sentences that have nothing to do with each other, answering questions just in totally illogical ways. A part of me wonders if it was all an act, all part of the circus, the charade. But Biden, with all these 47 connections, versus Trump, Mr. 47, been talking about this all year. The Trump impeachment ends on February 5th, 2020, a date with 47 numerology. Judge and gavel 47. Trump puts in his first Supreme Court Justice, Neil McGill Gorsuch, April 7th, 4-7, the 97th day of the year. Supreme equals 97. Ginsburg equals 97. Ruth Bader Ginsburg dead on the 97th day of Trump's age is 74. Trump equals judge. He's put the most federal judges in positions, is his legacy, more than any other president. He broke the record. And now he's going to have 3 Supreme Court justices. And the latest is, what's her name? Amy Coney Barrett. Whatever her name is, equals the same thing as Donald Trump in 3 out of the 4 base ciphers. Just like how judge and gavel are the exact same in all 4 base ciphers. But again, just the same old numbers. And it's political theater. It's political theater by the numbers is what it is. It's actors. In Ukraine, which is part of this whole, Trump was calling up Ukraine to get the dirt on Joe Biden because he just had this hunch, even though he was senile, not making any sense, and polling behind everybody, that somehow he was going to become the nominee. But he had to reach out to Ukraine to get the dirt on Joe Biden. I mean, what about this story makes sense? And then you look at Ukraine. Who's their president? Oh, a former comedian. A guy who went from comedian to president. What's Donald Trump? An actor, entertainer. I don't know if anything's real about Donald Trump. I mean, they are getting him right now in the news saying how years ago he was saying he paid millions of dollars in income taxes, and now supposedly his taxes are finally out and he paid almost nothing. It doesn't matter. It's all part of a show.